This is LGR, London Greek Radio.
Κατέβασε τη δωρεάν εφαρμογή του London Greek Radio από το App Store για iOS και Google Play για Android και συντονίσου. London Greek Radio 103,3. Μας φέρνει πιο κοντά.
I'm Vasoula Christodoulou and you are listening to London Greek Radio. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming a talented performer with a strong presence in musical theatre, Kelly Glyptis. With a career that combines vocal artistry and compelling stage presence, she is currently appearing in the musical Lifeline, where she takes on the role of Amalia Voureka, a key figure in a story that brings together science, love, and human resilience. Inspired by real events, Lifeline explores the life and legacy of Alexander Fleming and the discovery of penicillin, while also opening up a contemporary conversation about health and society. Kelly, welcome, and it's a really amazing, it's a pleasure to have you today with us. And let's take a moment to get to know you a little better. I mean, for those who may be discovering you for the first time, tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and what it means to you to be a Greek-American performer. Welcome.
Thank you so much. First of all, it's an absolute pleasure. So thank you for having me on. It's so lovely to meet you. And obviously being Greek-American, but living here in London full time. So I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be here. So thank you again for having me on. Gracious me, my background, my story. I was born in the Washington D.C. area. My papu was born actually in Chios, so he actually came over. So my father was a first generation American, which was really cool. Growing up with my papu and having that connection with Chios, and my yaya was from Forni as well. So just we always had the Greek, very big Greek connection. So I grew up in the Northern Virginia area. I was very fortunate. My papa was actually a cantor in the Greek Orthodox Church that we went to when we visited him down in Florida. So I was introduced to singing and standing up in front of people very, very early on in the Greek church, which was really lovely. And my papa I'm biased. He had a glorious voice. So no, it was, but I was introduced to music and theater very early in my life, really from birth. My mother was a professional dancer. Yeah, so
DNA, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of in the DNA. Yeah, exactly. So my mother, she was a choreographer as well. So I grew up doing Shakespeare and regular, just straight theater, musical theater. And then I got into opera. When I was quite young, I was about 13, 14 years old. And I actually sang my first opera in Italy, in Rome, when I was 16. So I was in the ensemble of Le Nozze di Figaro, and I sang Prima Novizia in Suor Angelica, Puccini's Suor Angelica, which was really amazing. So I started doing opera at a quite young age. I was very gentle with myself, for those worried about me listening. Wow. So, but yes, I went on to do my master's degree in vocal performance and opera. I studied in Canada and at Indiana University, the Jacobs School of Music. And I studied again a little bit in Italy. And I've sung all over. I do musical theater and opera back and forth. So I sang with the Lithuanian National Opera last year, it was December of 2024, I think it was. So, which was incredible. I've sung with the Atlanta Opera, Virginia Opera in the United States. And I had the most wonderful time. I did 2 years in the West End as Carlotta in Phantom of the Opera, which was such an incredible experience. Yes. I came to England in 2020 during the pandemic. So I moved here. I picked up 2 suitcases and I jumped across the pond and I've been here ever since. So I'm happy to report I now have my indefinite leave to remain. So I've been here for over 5 years now. And so now here I am.
Wow, amazing. So thank you so much, Kelly. Honestly, we are so proud of you. Congratulations for everything you achieved. And now let's go to the present and the Lifeline. How would you describe Lifeline to someone who hasn't heard about it before?
Well, it's a brilliant production. I might be biased, but but brilliant production. No, it's a production that really seamlessly and brilliantly puts together the intricacies of science and medical jargon, if you will, within musical context and within a story that is really lovely to follow and see, but that highlights things that are happening. So AMR, antimicrobial resistance, that's happening right now. And, especially in London, we've had the meningitis outbreak and things like that. So having this story told in a way that's, not necessarily like a TED talk, and don't get me wrong, love a TED talk. But this is a way that I think that as storytellers, right, we can communicate really effectively with the public and with people in general through an art form, and bring this message across through music and art in fun ways. There's lots of laughing in the show. There's lots of joy in the show, but also through the drama and the realities of what that brings. And our music is incredible. Our composer has taken Scottish like folk type music and sort of melded it into the musical theater genre. And we've got a bagpiper, which is
I love
incredible.
This. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and we've got some Scottish whistles, and it's really incredible what we've accomplished, and especially the orchestrations as well. They're just really, really lovely, and I think people will be able to connect with this in a very real way, and not in an abstract way that sometimes, listening to something like C-SPAN or, a conference, sometimes, we don't connect as easily to. So I think this is a great way for us to, as storytellers, like I said, get this message across through this
sounds
story.
Amazing to me.
Yeah.
And you portray Amalia Voureka.
Yes.
I don't know, I say Amalia because in the body is it Amelia?
Yeah. So we say Amalia. We say Amalia.
Okay.
I know. We forgive them. We have to be, as Greeks, we always must be gracious. So as you know. So yes, Amalia, she's absolutely incredible. The more I learn about her, honestly, I think she needs an opera written about her. I'm so here for it. She's incredible. She was born in 1912, and during so she actually got her medical degree. She was in biomedicine and technology in there, biomedical, and she was studying science and in the 30s, which for a Greek woman in the 30s, that's pretty intense. Yes. She married Mr. Voureka, who was an architect at the time. But one really amazing thing was her father was very, very supportive of her being in medicine and in science. So it struck to me, especially like with my family, my papa was always very supportive. My family was very supportive of me. So it sort of rang true with me. Oh. But during World War II, she and her husband joined the Greek resistance. And that was when the fire of political activism went into her, especially. And she was actually imprisoned during World War II, and she faked appendicitis. Oh, wow. And she thought, I can escape easier if I'm in hospital. And so she did such a good job at fooling them that they actually took out her appendix. They actually...
You believe it so much. You must be amazing in your role, because even just talking about it,
I know.
I feel it, honestly.
Yeah, so they took out her appendix, and I thought, oh man, like she maybe she's a better actress than me. I don't know, So she unfortunately was put back into prison because she was recovering and stuff, and she was sentenced to death. And right at the last minute, she was saved and they liberated the prison camp that she was in. She was fortunate enough to then go to England. She got a fellowship to go work with Alexander Fleming, and that's where she started her work. But she, in her own right, I believe she published over 9 articles, like alone by herself, which again, in the 50s for a woman,
it's a
absolutely,
big thing. Yes.
yeah, it's a very big thing. It's a very big thing.
Is.
And she traveled alone to London, again, as a woman traveling across, country lines. And she did marry Alexander. Unfortunately, he died 2 years into their marriage. But she continued his work in the science community and the medical community. And not only that, she continued her political activism. And she was actually, she was voted to Greek Parliament 3 times. Wow. She was a member of Greek Parliament 3 times, which is absolutely incredible. The coup in 1967 that happened, she was vehemently opposed to it. They stripped her of her Greek citizenship and deported her to England, which is like, then she wrote her book, and if you haven't read her book, you simply must. It's very absolutely wonderful, very powerful. So this woman is absolutely incredible. And actually, we had someone in the audience who was telling us a story that when they were young, they got sick in Greece, and they were actually at Amalia Voureka's house, and she nursed her back to health. Wow. And I was like, oh my gosh, she actually met her. Like, it's wild.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
Now, is there a particular moment in the show that affects you deeply every time you perform it?
Yeah, so I have one line it's almost difficult for me sometimes to say it. So Alexander and I, we get in a little fight, and I say, my line is, experiencing profound loss, as we both have, does not teach us to merely survive in this world. It teaches us that we must change it by working together. And I think that moment speaks to any situation. It doesn't have to be medical. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be anything. And I think that is a statement that you can apply to anything. And I think that really, that's the moment that in my mind as an actress, I want to connect with the audience more than any other moment in the show. And I think it reminds us that as humans, we must have the human connection, and we have to work together no matter what it is. And I think that's ultimately a huge part of the production, is all of us need to work together to battle the misuse of antibiotics, to tell these stories together as well. So, coming forward and telling our stories. For example, I mean, I'm a sepsis survivor myself. I've had 5 surgeries on my own. I've had multiple surgeries I've almost died from. And I feel like if we don't talk about that, then it doesn't get better. And we have to be there together as a community and move forward that way. So this show, I think, really captures that and does it so well, tells this story that everyone can connect to. And especially with our medical ensemble who's volunteering, we have real medical doctors and members of the scientific field and people in the politics as well, who come to the show and they step forward and they share their experiences at the end of the show, which is so moving and breathtaking. And some of the audience responses we've had is, this has inspired me to talk about what's happened to me, and I think that's so important. And that's what we do as actors and as storytellers, is our job is to connect with people and move things forward, in the world and in communities. So I think this piece is very timely. I think it's timeless as well. I mean, you can apply it to any moment in history or present, past, future, because it's about the connections we have as humans and working together.
Kelly, I have to say that I'm sure you're doing a great job on stage, because by just listening to you right now, without exaggeration, I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh,
no, this is without exaggeration. It's the truth, So, can you tell us more details, like where is it till when?
Yes.
Because We almost
I can tell you
missed it,
everything.
you know, and
I can tell you everything. Give me another half an hour. I'll tell you. We can wax philosophical and pontificate the world. So we are at Suffolk Playhouse Elephant, which is a lovely, lovely space. It's a very intimate space, so you'll really be right up in our faces, which makes it even more intense, which I love. So at Suffolk Playhouse in Elephant, near Elephant Castle Station, we perform until the 2nd of May. I will say we are selling out. So if you want to get tickets, do get them now. Because we had sold out shows Friday and both shows on Saturdays. We have shows coming up that are already sold out. So if you're going to get your tickets, get them now. Don't wait. And you don't want to miss this. It's really an incredible story, and it's an incredible production. And what's really lovely about Elephant Castle, and shout out to everybody here at Suffolk Playhouse at Elephant. Again, the intimacy of it just being so close. I mean, you can, that connection is so incredible, and the chemistry we get and the energy from the audience, it's just something that you have to experience yourself. And I get goosebumps on stage sometimes.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah. So please get your tickets now.
But where is next? I'm sure you're going to perform this in other towns as well, or other countries.
I know that there's plans to continue its life and move forward.
Yes.
So that, that's definitely something that we're hoping for as a team, to continue its life. Because again, it's very important. And of course, in 2028, being the 100-year anniversary of Alexander Fleming discovering penicillin is really important and prolific. In fact, I'm not at liberty to talk about some things, but there is, yes, the short answer is we are hoping and to continue and give this life and keep it moving forward, which we're really excited about, and tell these stories.
Yes, please do that, because this is not like any other play. One of my questions was, okay, what's the difference? What makes it special? But by listening to you, and finding out more, I know what it makes it really, really special and well done.
We speak a little Greek in the show, so come on down. See.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's not any spoilers, but Mr. Fleming might have a phrase in Greek that he tries to pronounce. So you guys can come in and see how his pronunciation is. We would love to get some feedback.
Yes, us Greeks, we love to listen to non-Greeks talking in Greek. We love that. Right, Kelly. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure talking with you. And just to remind our listeners, Lifeline is currently being performed at the Southwark Playhouse Elephant in London in a production that beautifully blends emotion, history, and a powerful message that resonates with all of us. If you are in London, it's definitely a performance with experience in not only as a piece of musical theatre, but as a story that truly connects with our times. Kelly, we wish you every success, and thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure. You are listening to LGR. I'm Vasoula Christodoulou, and that was Kelly Glyptis.
This is LGR, London Greek Radio.
Ο αγαπημένος σου ελληνικός σταθμός στα social media. Ακολούθησέ μας στο Instagram και στο TikTok, βρες μας στο Twitter και κάνε like στη σελίδα μας στο Facebook London Greek Radio.